Hello everyone and welcome to our live coverage of Starlink Group 6-75 mission launching from Space Coast, that is from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. We hope you all are doing fine and excited about the upcoming SpaceX Starlink launch. Well, if this is your first time joining us, hi, my name is Dipta Maitra. I'll be your friend firstly and the host providing commentary for today's mission launch, and you are watching AstroYonder live.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Houston, we see a nominal MECO. Welcome to space.
We are super excited bringing you the coverage of SpaceX's 479th overall launch and the 51st Falcon 9 launch of this year. This launch marks the 466th Falcon 9 overall launch as well. We are waiting for Falcon 9 liftoff at 9:51 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:51 hours UTC from Florida for a southeasterly launch for SpaceX Starlink mission. The Starlink mission 6-75 will launch 28 version 2 mini optimized Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit. Now, before we dive in, on behalf of AstroYonder team and our awesome moderators, we want to thank all of you joining us for today's launch. We are truly grateful to have you all here. A big thanks to our amazing YouTube community for being here today, supporting us as we provide detailed coverage of space launches, complete with extensive stats and thorough insights. Really appreciate and a heartfelt gratitude for you being here. Also, we would love if you guys show up into the chat and let us know from where you are tuning in. Also, feel free to drop any questions, suggestions, or share your thoughts as we move ahead with the stream. We would love to hear from you and get to know more about you. Now, just a reminder, it's me only managing the launch coverages on my own, so if by chance we face any technical issues or hiccups, kindly bear with me and hang tight. I will do my best to guide you through the upcoming Falcon 9 rocket launch happening in approximately 38 minutes from now. Now let's get into the mission details. According to 45th Weather Squadron officials, there's a 95% and above chances of favorable weather conditions at the time of the launch, with no launch weather constraint violations. The forecast calls for a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, scattered clouds with 40% cloud cover, and a wind speed of 13 miles per hour. So let's hope that the launch proceeds on time without significant delays. But if for some reason launch does not happen today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow, that is on Friday, May 2nd, with launch window opening at 9:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Now let's take a look at the payload details for Starlink Group 6-75 mission. Built in Redmond, Washington, today's payload consists of 28 Starlink version 2 mini optimized satellites. Now just a reminder, today's payload doesn't consist of any direct-to-cell satellites. This launch marks the 34th dedicated Starlink launch for this year. Each Starlink is equipped with 5 advanced Ku-band phased array antennas, 3 dual-band parabolic antennas utilizing Ka and E-band, and a 52.5 square meter dual solar array with a wingspan of 100 feet. The two solar arrays are also aeroneutral, which enable faster on-orbit maneuvers. Also, each satellite is equipped with a high-capacity battery to provide power to the payloads. And now I got my battery to power myself. One of our moderator joining us, Pop Tripika. Welcome, Pop Tripika. Hello, and I hope you are doing fine. Thanks for tuning in, Pop Tripika. Well, some surprises are coming with an upcoming Starlink launch. Today we are launching 28 version 2 mini optimized satellites, but in Starlink 6-84 mission we will be launching the highest for the version 2 mini as of now. So I'm coming to that point. Now sit back and enjoy the stream. Now, each Starlink satellite features three space laser transponders, also known as optical intersatellite links, for intercommunication operating at up to 200 Gbps. Usage of these ISLs, that is intersatellite links, are now quite prevalent in the satellite development industry, and you can see its presence in most of the satellites as of now. They make use of argon-fueled Hall effect thrusters for in-orbit maneuvering, which was previously based on krypton. But the switch from krypton to argon was basically for the cost effectiveness which argon provides. Now, today's payload will be deployed in an orbit with an altitude of approximately 271 kilometers and with an inclination of 43 degrees. But the operational orbit will be an altitude of approximately 559 kilometers and with an inclination of the same degree, that is 43 degrees. Each version 2 mini optimized satellite weighs approximately 1,268 pounds, which is equivalent to 575 kilograms, which is approximately 22% less than the original version 2 mini variant. Now, just for the context, each unoptimized satellite weighs approximately 1,763 pounds, which is equivalent to 800 kilograms. Starlink satellite use custom-built star trackers to find their position, altitude, and orientation for optimal broadband throughput, and each one has 4 reaction wheels for precise attitude control. By attitude control, I mean the orientation, plus a hot spare setup for their reliability. The aluminum flywheel is designed to safely burn up at the end of their useful life. Additionally, they have an onboard autonomous collision avoidance system that uses the US Department of Defense debris tracking database for avoiding collisions with space junks and other spacecrafts autonomously. Now, to understand the importance of autonomous collision avoidance system, here's a quick context. According to a SpaceX report, Starlink satellite performs 275 collision avoidance maneuvers each day, and this report was published last year only. And in that course of past 6 months, Starlink satellites performed approximately 50,000 collision avoidance maneuvers. So obviously you can understand what is the importance and significance of an autonomous collision avoidance system. Now we will be talking about the payload optimization as we are launching the 28 version 2 mini satellites equipped with a SpaceX designed dual band chip called Doppio. Each satellite features enhanced backhaul antennas, and by using this Doppio chip, which utilize Ka band and Ku band frequencies, the backhaul antennas can handle higher data rates and lower latency. The chip is integrated into the satellite's avionics system, ensuring seamless operation and communication with the other satellite components. The enhanced avionics is responsible for better control and communication, whereas the improved propulsion system is for efficient deployment and maneuvering in orbit. The enhanced power system is there to support the increased payload capacity as we are increasing the payload capacity with each day passing by. Now today we are launching 28 of them. Now these all optimizations allows Falcon 9 to carry up to 29 satellites per mission, which is 6 more than the original version 2 mini design. Now some quick fun facts for you guys, but before that would like to welcome Spaceman. Thanks for tuning in, Spaceman. And I did saw your um, text on the chat yesterday. Actually, I saw that it was got a little bit delayed today's launch, but I completely forgot to make the time to change. So I apologize for that. Actually, I was busy making things for the upcoming launches, and it totally got out of my mind. So you will be watching today's launch in person. That's a nice thing, Spaceman, and I hope you will be getting good views because uh, you will be getting anyhow. At least the launch you will be enjoying. But from the first stage and second stage views, that we won't be enjoying them from here in person. But that is the main point actually for me to watch because those views gives nice spectacular views of the earth behind. But anyways, it's a nighttime launch again, so Pop Tripika and me as well will be a little bit disappointed for those views from first and second stages when they are in space. But anyways, we are happy for you that you will be enjoying the launch in person. So I was going to say some fun facts. So about the Starlink 6-39 mission launched on February 25th, 2024. This is last year aboard Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station was the first to include 24 version Mini 2 satellites and then high, the then highest count for version 2 minis. Now, on January 21st, this year, with Group 11-8, SpaceX launched 27 optimized version 2 mini satellites for the first time. Then again, on March this year, with Group 6-80, they launched 28 optimized version 2 minis for the first time. Including today's launch, this is now the fourth time they are launching 28 Starlink satellites, currently the highest count for the version 2 mini variant. In comparison, the highest for version 1 is 60 satellites and for version 1.5 it's 56. Now here is the main thing that I was saying previously, that on the upcoming Starlink 6-84 mission, SpaceX is set to break its own record by launching 29 version 2 mini satellites, surpassing the previous high of 28, that is as of now, which we will be launching today. And this will be the biggest patch yet for the version 2 mini variant. So be prepared and get ready for that. The live stream is already posted on our channel, so don't forget to check it out. And Again, this 29 they will be launching in the upcoming 6-84 mission. That will be also the optimized variant of the version 2 mini satellites. Once again, just a reminder, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at 9:51 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, that is May 1st. Now let's take a look at the flight record for the booster supporting today's Starlink 6-75 mission. Booster with tail number 1080 will be supporting today's mission. Today's booster has 17 previous flights in its record, including missions like 2 Axiom missions, Axiom 2 and Axiom 3 for Axiom Space, a private space flight to the International Space Station. The upcoming Axiom 4 is this month only. They are targeting, I think, 28th of May. Now, the next mission supported by today's booster was the Euclid mission, launching Euclid Space Telescope developed by European Space Agency. CRS-30, that is Commercial Resupply Services mission to the International Space Station, which was the 10th flight for SpaceX under NASA's CRS Phase 2 contract. Astra 1P mission and Astra communication satellite being launched by Thales Alenia Space for SES as owner and operator based in Luxembourg. The last non-Starlink mission supported by today's booster was the Cygnus NG-21, which is also a commercial resupply services mission to the International Space Station, but is operated by Northrop Grumman. Additionally, the booster also supported 11 Starlink missions, now awaiting its 18th flight, just about 23 minutes from now. The booster's turnaround time as of today is 31 days, and the last mission supported by today's booster was the Starlink Group 6-80 mission from here at Sleek 40 on 31st of March 2025. It is worth mentioning today it's the 4th flight of this booster for this year, with previous 3 supported Starlink missions only. As of now, for this year, this booster didn't supported any non-Starlink missions for commercial and government organizations. Now let's have a look at the bar graph showing number of Falcon 9 launches each year. Actually, Spaceman, they optimized it. They didn't remove anything. Actually, there is some enhancement being done on the avionics, in the propulsion system, in the power system as well. And they are using a Doppio chip, which is SpaceX in-house designed, which handles dual band, and for that the satellites features those enhanced backhaul antennas. And for this Doppio chip, these backhaul antennas can handle higher data rates and lower latency. Now all this enhancement altogether makes these satellites to have number of to increase the number of them per launch, which is for now they can carry 29 satellites per mission, which is 6 more than the original version 2 minis. So for these optimizations, and to be precise, the details are not disclosed clearly, but these are the optimizations for which they can increase the number of payload. And yes, as Poptripika is saying, that physically there are some modifications as well to accommodate them in the payload fairing, obviously, because with each stack, the payload, like the size of the payload will be increasing, and it has to be commensurate with the payload fairing. Otherwise, they won't be fitting. It's quite obvious. Oh, now about the bar graph. Before this upcoming launch, SpaceX completed its 50th Falcon 9 launch for this year with Starlink 12-10 mission launch from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center on April 28th, which obscures the number of annual launches made till 2021 and now having 19 more than the launches made in 2021. Now, with today's launch of Starlink 6-75 mission, the bar graph shows 51 number of Falcon 9 launches for 2025. SpaceX is now less than halfway to the number of launches made in the year 2022 and will be having 10 number of launches 10 less number of launches from that with today's mission. Now again this year, um, SpaceX is aiming for another record-breaking year with around 180 Falcon 9 launches just itself, apart from upcoming Falcon Heavy launches, if any, surpassing the last year's highest annual launches count, which was 132 launches of Falcon 9 and 134 including 2 Falcon Heavy launches. While this is a ambitious target, but I hope they will be able to achieve that. Now, if this stream fuels your love for space, give us a like. It's like fine-tuning the trajectory of our mission to build a community with amazing space enthusiasts like you. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you won't miss a single launch update. Here at AstroYonder, we believe together we will build a ultimate constellation of space enthusiasts. Now please allow us a couple of seconds to check whether the launch is on time or not and to stay updated. Well, as of now it's on time, so no worries. That's a nice thing. Just a reminder, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at 9:51 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, May 1st. Well, spaceman, yes, you can say that. That's a, what can I say, overview of those optimizations I mentioned, because mass and performance both are needed to increase the payload capacity of these Starlink satellites. Now, they are not the version 3 of the Starlink variant are being launched in the Starship as of now. They are quite bigger and heavier than obviously from version 2 mini. And as we know that itself the version 2, just the version 2 itself is heavier than version 2 minis. So for that only they switched to version 2 minis to accommodate them on the payload fairing. And now they are more optimizing it so that they can include a more number of Falcon 9, more number of Starlink satellites in each launch. Now let's go ahead and have a look at the trajectory for today's mission. Falcon 9 leaving the pad from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station with a batch of 28 Starlink satellites on board for a southeast trajectory heading into low Earth orbit, that is to the sixth shell of second generation Starlink mega constellation, indicated by that green line on your screen. The red line indicates where Falcon 9 first stage will land after stage separation just a little later, leaving Florida's Space Coast. And today's mission is supported by Just Read the Instructions droneship, one of the two here on the East Coast. This will be the 116th landing on just read the instructions drone ship to date. Now some recovery specifics. The planned booster recovery is approximately 595 kilometers with estimated fairing recovery approximately 650 kilometers downrange, and stage 2 debris re-entry will be in the Indian Ocean on the second orbit. Now some of the stats related to the drone ships. As we know, currently there are 3 in the SpaceX's drone ship fleet. Here at the East Coast, we have just read the instructions and a shortfall of Gravitas, while of course I Still Love You is stationed in California. And as I'm mentioning in each of our live streams that we do expect the addition of 4th drone ship likely by this year, but as of now there is no information regarding that. So spaceman, are you out there already for the launch in the vicinity of the Space Coast? I hope you will be getting a nice clear view of the launch, and do take some videos and some photographs of that as much as you can, because it's a nice nighttime launch, so maybe it won't be so much good, but still just for a memory. Now speaking of fairing recovery, the two halves of the payload fairings will be recovered slightly farther, approximately 55 kilometers downrange from where the first stage lands on the just read the instructions drone ship, after they will smoothly splash down with the guidance of parachutes. SpaceX will utilize a recovery vessel to retrieve them from the Atlantic waters. Right now on your screen you can see how a fairing recovery operation looks like. Although the recovery vessel on your screen is Doug performing the recovery operations, but today's supporting recovery vessel is Bob, one of the 3 here at the East Coast. Other recovery vessels, Doug and Go Cosmos here at the East Coast, and Go Beyond at the West Coast, are currently awaiting their next assignment. And I would like to rectify myself that Go Cosmos is now um, there at the Gulf of Mexico for a long time. So I don't know whether it's waiting for any mission or not, but for sure it's going through some refurbishments and modifications, but obviously it's for long they are doing so. Now we have a request again for you folks. Consider giving this stream a like as your way of boosting us past max Q, passing through the maximum dynamic stress of this YouTube algorithm, so that this stream reaches to more space enthusiasts like you. And as we are burning our midnight fuel or propellant to bring you streams, we expect your kind support for us by tapping the subscribe and the bell icon. And with that, you will never miss any upcoming stream, like a perfectly timed launch window. Now we are nearly 5 minutes away from the webcast to begin, so let's just quickly wrap up with the stats for today's mission. Today's launch marks the 479th SpaceX overall launch and the 34th dedicated Starlink launch of this year. This is going to be the 466th Falcon 9 launch to date. 18th flight of this particular Falcon 9 booster supporting today's mission with tail number 1080 in motion after 31 days. Today's mission marks 51st Falcon 9 launch and SpaceX's 53rd overall launch of 2025. This will be the 408th Falcon booster reflight to date. That is the launch of a booster that has flown at least once before. Now this count is for the whole Falcon family booster fleet. Now for the particular Falcon 9 booster reflight, I am coming to that. 248 orbital launch for SpaceX launching from Space Launch Complex 40 and the 303rd overall launch from Slick 40. Now with the success of this mission, SpaceX will have a remarkable 8,445 Starlink satellites, including 609 dedicated direct-to-cell satellites launched to date. That's a remarkable number. They are already past 8,000 Starlink satellites to be launched. Now moving on to some reusability statistics. This launch marks 392nd Falcon 9 booster reflight to date. 116th landing on Just Read the Instructions droneship with today's mission. 18th landing of the first stage booster with tail number 1080. And with this mission's first stage landing, SpaceX will be having their 350th overall droneship landing. So that's a record as well, you can say it, marking 420th Falcon 9 landing so far and 439th SpaceX's overall landing to date. Speaking of droneship landings, these are some of the stats for the droneship prior to today's mission. So once again, just to remind you, don't get confused with the numbers because these are prior to today's launch, not including today's mission. Would like to welcome Fairmaid joining us, one of our another moderator. Yes, obviously Fairmaid, nice timing you chose. At least just we are 2 minutes away from the webcast to begin, and you can say about 9 minutes from the liftoff. So that's a perfect timing. And I hope you are doing well, Fairmaid, and everything is good at your end. Now let's have a look at into some of the key stats for SpaceX launches this year specifically. With today's mission, SpaceX will be having its 53rd launch of this year, and out of those, 34 are Starlink missions, including today's one. 17 were non-Starlink missions for commercial and government organizations, and 2 Starship launches. 48 of these missions using a reuse booster, including today's mission. The geographical distributions provides us that SpaceX will be having 35 launches from East Coast with today's mission. On the West Coast, having 16 launches from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base. As of now, 2 launches from Gulf Coast at Starbase in Texas with Starship's 7th and 8th test flights, and 2 Super Heavy booster catches for both of those test flights. Now coming back to stats, and well, just an update that Starship, I think Ship 35 underwent a static fire test for one Raptor engine for the in-space relight just of yesterday, I guess. For you guys, it will be just today, I think. Yes, it's today only. Now for landings, they will be nailing it for the 49th time this year, Most of the landings are on droneship with 40 landings, and for ground landings they pulled off 9 of them, where landing zone 4 and landing zone 1 had 4 launches, whereas landing zone 2 witnessed only 1 landings. Now I guess it's time for the webcast to begin, so let me just check it. Yes, it's live, so that's nice. So let's head over and just give me a second to set up the things. So the stream is up. As of now, SpaceX is playing some pre-stream music. So once the mission audio feed kicks in, I will patch it into our stream. Now, meanwhile, let me say some of the stats which I couldn't say. Prior to today's launch, we had 114 successful launches since last mission failure with Starlink 9-3, 24 successful landings since last landing failure with Starlink 12-20. Boost 327 missions with at least one reused fairings, and approximately 622 number of fairing halves were reused prior to today's launch. Today is the 115th launch since last mission failure. So here we go. We have the feed finally. Right now, I guess about this call out, I was expecting, I thought they missed it. So we are pressurizing the tanks for the strong back retraction, and strong back retraction has started. Here it's a Cape Canaveral flight, so we will be reclining the strong back about 1.5 degrees from the Falcon 9 by stiffening up the tanks so that the clamp arms you can see right now on your screen, they got to open up, and we will be soon reclining the strong back about 1.5 degrees. But in the on a Vandenberg flight, we recline the strong back about 13 degrees away from the Falcon 9. Now, while we are watching this amazing, spectacular view of the Falcon 9 live view, a couple of important steps were completed. The spacecraft team switched to internal power a few minutes ago, and fueling of the Falcon 9 first stage is finished, which means that all the RP-1 prop is now on board. We are still loading liquid oxygen on both the first and second stages, and we'll be listening in a couple of seconds for LOX load completion for both of the stages. Now the strong back is the structure that next to Falcon 9 that carries air conditioning, electrical signals, pressurization gases, and the propellant to the spacecraft, and for both the stages. So we do it very slowly, the strong back retraction process, because if we will be getting some close-up views, you can see still those lines are connected, carrying those liquid oxygen to the second stage as well as electrical signals. So we need to make sure that all of those are easily stretched out and all mechanisms work good. Now we got the call out that stage 2 LOX load is complete. We are now waiting for the second stage 1 LOX load is complete. Now we are waiting for the second stage that will finish up just inside 2 minutes mark.
Stage 2, LOX load is complete.
There we go, we got the call out, stage 2 LOX load is complete. So right now all the propellants are on board, that is 1 million pounds of propellant aboard the Falcon 9. We are now venting down the pressure that was in the tubing of the strong back, and for that we can see those clouds coming out, white clouds coming out. Now soon we'll be,
Ground gas closeouts.
there we go, we are now bleeding the extra pressure off, and that cold gas, you can see now, when it reacts with the moist humid air, gives a nice white cloud, which is an healthy indicator and an positive for an upcoming launch. Next event, T-minus 1 minute, we should be hearing the call out that the Falcon 9 flight computers are in startup and controlling the rocket for the remainder of the countdown.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
And there we go, right on time. Falcon 9 flight computers on both the stages are running the rocket to the last minute of count. Now let's listen to the go call out. We are past 45 seconds. Why we didn't got
T-minus 30 seconds.
any go call out specifically? I don't know. I hope everything is right.
Launch directors, go for launch.
Oh my god. I think the launch director forgot to give the go at the right time. So we are finally a go for the launch. So now sit back and enjoy the launch.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition, engines full power, and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
T plus 22 seconds into the flight, we have a successful liftoff. Falcon 9 has cleared the tower. And again, for the third time I'm watching this, we are getting amazing view at this nighttime launches. We did got a good call out that the stage 1 propulsion is nominal, expecting a next good call out that the power and telemetry both are nominal.
Falcon 9 power and telemetry are nominal.
There we go. And right now we are throttling down the 9 Merlin engines, preparing for the period of maximum dynamic stress coming up.
Mach 1.
There we go. We are at Mach 1. That means that the Falcon 9 is faster than the speed of sound, as we have gone supersonic. Maybe Fairmont
Max Q.
and Max Q call out. We are through the period of maximum dynamic stress on the vehicle right now. We throttled the 9 Merlin engines back up to full power. Next, expecting the call out for MVAC engine chill. No pop trip reconfirmed. I really got a little bit scared that if the launch director didn't give the go at the right time, I thought maybe something is not good, but finally he gave. And as Fairmont said, maybe he made his mic on mute. Sometimes I also miss things like that. Now again, we are not getting the call out for MVAC engine chill, but
Nominal trajectory.
we will be chilling down the MVAC engine on the second stage for its ignition just after the stage separation. Coming up 3 events in rapid succession: the shutdown of main engine on first stage, also known as MECO, followed by stage separation and ignition of the second stage MVAC engine.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
So we got the call outs for at least all these back-to-back milestones. We didn't got the call out for MVAC engine chill. Next up, we are expecting the fairing separation call out. At least that we will be getting right on time.
Fairing separation confirmed.
There we go. We had the call out that the fairing has successfully separated. We did saw the nitrogen thrusters reorienting the first stage as the flight computers commanded the 4 hypersonic titanium grid fins to deploy after a successful stage separation. Today, there is so many human errors fair made. See, already a delayed go call out for from the launch director, then no call out for MVAC engine chill, and I hope you will be remembering Pop Tripika to Pop Tripika specifically saying Fairmade. Maybe you will be also remembering in one stream they were not at all giving any call outs. So I had to follow the timeline and to say things. Anyways, that can happen, no issues. So we got the call out for the fairing separation. So right now the first stage will rise towards the apogee before descending back towards its landing site, that is the drone ship. For today, it's just read the instructions, waiting, being stationed in the Atlantic Ocean. Second stage, meanwhile, is performing in its full capacity in the middle of its 6-minute burn on its way into the parking orbit with 28 Starlink satellites payload on board. Now, currently, we are preparing the first stage to make its return to the drone ship landing site. So far, launch has been good, no issues. The second stage is operating at full capacity, and we are getting the views of the MVAC engine nozzle, at least, not some cool views as a daytime launch because today it's a nighttime launch. So, anyways, and I hope Spaceman did had a good view for the launch. Now, I guess he got like carried away with the launch. That's why he's not here anymore. Anyways, but currently during this part of the flight, stage 1 is completely relying on its grid fins for steering as it returns to Earth. And we are not getting good visuals from the first stage, but occasionally you will be able to see nitrogen gas burst from the first stage for attitude control, that is the orientation control. And these are basically used to position the vehicle as it heads back towards drone ship.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there's a confirmation we have just lit 3 of those 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. Now we are rapidly slowing down the vehicle, as you can see on the bottom left side of your screen from the telemetry. And this entry burn should last just around 26 seconds.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And there we go. There's a confirmation of shutdown of entry burn on first stage.
In a nominal trajectory.
And we did got the call out stage 1 FTS being saved previously. It means that the re-entry burn for stage 1 has been accomplished.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
And there we go, we got the call out for stage 2 FTS being saved. It means the orbital insertion burn for the second stage is complete. And some good call outs we did got that both the vehicles are on a nominal trajectory. Now in the next call out we are expecting for stage 1 being transonic. And thanks Fairmade for saying us about the apogee
Stage 1 transonic.
altitude. That's your job from now, Fairmade. At least for that, I'm not able to notice because I'm saying things. So if you will be saying, at least I can be knowing that how much it went high. And we did got the call out previously for stage 1 being transonic. That means that the stage 1 is traveling slower than the speed of sound. Right now, we just lit the center E9 engine. With that, we are slowing down the vehicle furthermore for the first stage.
Terminal guidance.
Should be seeing those landing legs deploy any seconds now. Landing legs deployed. Here we go. Don't up. Don't up. Okay. And there we have it. A successful 420th landing of an orbital class Falcon 9 rocket. Coming up next, we will be having the second stage engine cutoff, that is SECO 1, completing its around 6 minutes of burn. And following that event, the second stage will enter into about 46 minutes of course phase as the vehicle ascends to its target orbit.
MVAC shutdown.
There we go, we got the call out, MVAC shutdown, that is SECO 1. So we didn't got the call out for nominal orbit insertion, but rest assured that it occurred as expected. Sometimes they are not saying on the stream, and specifically today's stream is something else. They are missing many of the call outs, so maybe for that, to maintain that legacy of missing the call outs. Now, these were the confirmation we were waiting for, at least for a successful SECO, that is a second stage engine cutoff. Now, today's launch marks SpaceX's 479th successful mission, with the landing marking their 439th success. And I know that I'm mentioning the landing a number less than what is actually being displayed on the SpaceX's website, because we are not counting the partial failure of a landing. So for that, it is this count. Now, with that, we will wrap up our coverage for now. Be sure to check out our social media handle on X for the latest happenings in the space industry and updates on upcoming launches. I hope the link got posted in the chat section, and we would like to have you all in the upcoming Starlink 6-84 mission that will be launching 29 Starlink version 2 mini satellites. As of now, that will be the record. And also for the upcoming Starlink 15-3 mission launching from Vandenberg. Now, finally, and most importantly, want to thank all of you for tuning in to our live coverage wherever you are watching from. Also would like to thank Bob Tripika and Fairmaid, one of both are our moderators here, for tuning in and making some time in their busy schedule to join us. And also I will thank Spaceman. Maybe Spaceman, I hope you didn't got launched as well. Come back. And I hope you did got a nice view of the launch, and do tell us about that when you will be joining us in the next stream. And really, we can do this broadcast without support, and we are really grateful for your continued encouragement for everything what we do here at AstroYonder. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We appreciate everyone joining us for today's launch. Wishing you a nice day ahead. Once again, thanks for watching. This is AstroYonder Live and me, Dipta, and we will see you next time.